Hi guys, welcome to my system here. It's the ISO builder, and we're gonna cut the social media here loose so we're not disturbed. Topic of the video is the ArcoLinux ISO. We're gonna go for an ArcoLinux installation. At ArcoLinux, it's like going to the university, right? And there is a vision about all that, about the learning, university learning path. And I see often people start with ArcoLinux D and I say, oh my God, right? That is too difficult to start with. It's like in phase 6. You know all the tips and tricks and you know all the commands, etc., etc. There's so much to learn before you start with an ArcoLinux D. But that's the point, right? This is not a project for a week. This is a project for years. And you can end up with your own distro in the process, your own spin-off. And that's great. That's the independence, the flexibility. Once you've tasted it, you're hooked. So in these phases, we have also the phase 7, which is ArcoLinux, the archway, right? And then Calamaris, the graphical installer, is gone. So everything is possible, it just takes a lot of time. Going to university is about years, not days and weeks. There are no shortcuts. So that's phase 7, ArcoLinux start. Go and have a read and listen to what I have to say here. But at some point in time you need to decide, do I have an old computer, BIOS, a newer computer, UEFI, and you go through the phases. It's as simple as that. So it's another video. We keep on making these videos because it's necessary, right? Even though there are so many videos, there are still people stuck somewhere in the process that I say, this doesn't work or that doesn't work. It's all documented again and again and again, over and over and over in all of these videos. It's all about installing ArcoLinux every single time. In November 2019, in December 2019, in January, and etc., etc. Like more or less every month, every 2 months, we do an ArcoLinux installation. Okay, so use the websites, right? I see too many people asking questions and taking away time from developers, from beta testers, because they don't read, they don't go to the websites, and these are the websites, and they don't search, right? One of the things that is interesting as well, I use it from time to time as well, is the listing. This contains everything on this website. It gives you an overview. If you want to go for an all-in ArcoLinux installation UEFI with DWM, it's there, right? The difference is just UEFI and BIOS, and if you see a few videos, you say, that's not a lot of difference between them. It's not, right? Archway desktop. So use the tools, because the project is 4 years old, meaning all the questions that all the people have asked before you, it's already documented, it has an article, it has videos, so go and have a look. All right. A plea to read and use the websites that we're paying for. So, Super F7, ArcoLinux. I have a template, right mouse click, clone, ArcoLinux, Arch, right? By the way, I am an Arch. And then we clone it. The settings are important, still people are stuck with that. YouTube, playlists, Virtualbox, 22 videos about how to set it, and every video actually I'm showing it, right? Base memory, VBox, SVGA, that's what's important. The optical drive is empty. I've downloaded the ArcoLinux. Here it is. Open. And you start, and then it goes to the other screen, which is not supposed to, voila. And Control F. That's important for you guys in VirtualBox. You want to have a full screen. In my case, 1920 and 1080, right Control F. And then before everything boots, right? Before EndeavourOS, before KOS boots, then you get the 1920, 1080. And then we let Arch do its thing. This is the created with the Arch ISO, and any, well, not any, but many have been created, many distros have been created also with Arch ISO, on ArcoLinux of course, not on Debian. Voila, there we are, and then you say, oh my god, what should I do, right? Nobody knows what to do. Well, we do. We go here and we say, let's go to phase 6. And it's always a choice, right? Which video will I make? Will I make one of BIOS? Will I make one of UEFI? I just saw DWM has one for here, Archway all in one. So it means what I'm gonna do now, from scratch till we have DWM or till we have Spectre WM. Mate is here. Was just thinking about Mate. So it's a choice. 22 desktops that we have. Ukui is there as well. BSPWM. Don't see BSPWM, right? Let's do BSPWM. Control find BSPWM. Okay, done that. Installation of BSPWM on ArcoLinux. Phase 4. Awesome. Control find awesome. Awesome. Done that too. So many things have been created already, so I'll have doubles, but it's every single time another Arch ISO, right? It's another ArcoLinux ISO. Herpsluft. Done that too. Qtile. Done that too, right? We'll decide. Anyway, what I wanted to do is go here, decide what you want to have, phase 1, BIOS, and you put it, hopefully, right, on the dual screen. That's easy. So you can have one thing and the other, and we go through the phases. We go through it, scroll through it, and that's what we're gonna do. It's punishment, I would always say. It's like typing all the time. It's like write 100 lines of I will not be bad, right? Things like that. It feels like punishment, because once you know how to do it, right, there is no challenge. It's just there we go again. We gotta type again, right? That's all it is. Load keys, BE, Latin. There we go with all the typos. I'll better put my glasses on. They are on and I don't see it, right? Better glasses. Loop. So I'm scrolling. Does it start with time date? Blah, blah. Still early in the morning. So yeah, we do start with load keys. So if you have a German key, take German keys and so on and so on. You figure that out via the links. Yep, time is the first thing we need to do. Time date set NTP equals true. Scrolling on, partitioning the disks. This is the most, well, difficult is not the word, but it's, you know, it's new, right? It's gonna be a little bit difficult anyway. I have started with BIOS. You don't know that, but I have started with BIOS. Can we show that? I'm gonna go out again. We've just started anyway, so I'll type a few more lines again. We've started with BIOS. If I want to start with UEFI, I need to enable that in Virtualbox. So it will be a BIOS thing. Fine, doesn't matter. It's just the article, right? It's only the choice of the article. You want to have a BIOS thing, you go for this thing, and otherwise you go for this thing. It's just that. And then you follow. So, my keys. We're back, scrolling back up. There is only one thing. You can't forget a line. Simple as that. You can't forget a line. And if you don't, then you got a working system in Virtualbox. And later on real metal, the challenge is the drivers. AMD, Intel, Nvidia. And once you pass that, whoa, the fun can start. Scrolling, 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 partition the disks. CF disk. So I was going to explain that GPT is for UEFI, DOS is for BIOS. I need to go for DOS. I've chosen BIOS. Free space is 30 gigabytes. New. I can move around at the bottom with arrow keys. I say, let's go for a new guy. UEFI is something where you make a small partition. This is not UEFI. This is BIOS, right? There are some great tips on the website. Wipe FS, wipe file system, and SG disk, right? So if you see these guys, this is awesome. That's like cleaning the blackboard, like whew, all gone. Whatever it's on there, 15 partitions, whew, it's clean. It shows like it's really coming from the shop, right? It will ask again for the GPT and the BIOS then. Okay. Scrolling, 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 scrolling. So here they're making two partitions. I am an advocate of keep it simple and stupid, right? I really am. These days with memories and all that, people have 8 gig. That's quite enough. We don't need swap for it. Depends what all kind of applications you're starting. But for the moderate, the medium user, I mean, 8 gigabytes is enough. And then you have 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes. I mean, 64. Swap is less an issue these days. Anyway, I have to decide if I want swap or not, just to make the exercise maybe, right? Make it a little bit more complex. I'm not gonna do root this amount and home that amount. Don't make yourself difficult. 25 gig for root, 5 gig for swap, stop. That's what we're gonna do. So primary, this is already Linux, you see, format, ID type at the end, free space, new, 7.3, primary. Now I have to say what type it is. I have to tell them it's Linux swap 82. You see lines up there. Nothing has been written. So, write. Yes. Write, please. Then quit. And then do an ls block. What was it again? ls block devices. Voila. So we got an SDA and we've drawn lines on it to say from here till here it's SDA 1 and from there to there is SDA 2. Okay. Then we scroll again, format the partitions. This can be a lot of fun. These are the choices: PTRFS, ScreenFS, X2, X3, XFAT, X4, FAT, MS-DOS, Minix. I think that was the early format from Linux, back in the days from Linus Torvalds. So X4 is the most common one, right? And which one? Which one do you want to do? Well, the one that's device number SDA. It's up on the top there, SDA 1. That's root. Yeah, that's root and home and opt and temp, right? It's all in one. Keep it simple and stupid. And then we have the swap. We created the swap just for the exercise. Make swap device SDA 2. You decide if you need it or not. You know how much memory you have and you feel if you need it or not while gaming or playing. Voila, swap is created, swap is on. Scrolling down. We need to mount it. Mount device. Since we made it simple, there's only one thing to do. Mount this thing. Root is now mounted in the folder mount, and mount, we say mount, but we type MNT. Okay. Mount. select the mirrors. Let's see, how bad is it? Nano etc pacman.t mirror list. So these are the ArcoLinux mirror lists, and the reflector servers that's on our machine, that's on the ISO, went to the internet. If you got no internet, this will not be displayed, right? If you are on the road and you want to install ArcoLinux on your laptop, voila, no internet, reflector can't know which mirrors are good on in your country. But he went online and he says, this is it. Okay, because Osbeck is indeed the best one. So that's gonna be a fast installation. That's what you want, right? The fastest server around there. Scrolling down again. Pack strap. Inside mount, you're gonna put any application you want. Base development. We want Linux kernel, Linux firmware, Nano, network manager. I mean, you just keep on typing, right? I'm just gonna follow the tutorial as not to confuse people. Scrolling, FS-tab BIOS. We need to generate something. What desktop to take? Maybe OpenBox. We'll see. I'm gonna generate myself a FS-tab minus u, whoops, minus u, mnt, right, and then this thing, mnt, whoa, my capital is on, etc FS-tab. Nano or cat, maybe. Cat is showing, nano is typing, changing. So if you do nano and you make a mistake, you type it in, you save it, boom, it's in there, right? But cat is not touching, it's not editing, it's just show. I want to know if that's there. If that's not there, it's not gonna boot, right? So it's a little bit more typing, but it's important. And then we're gonna move inside Arch root. Please read any article, any video, see any video about Arch root. Super interesting because we can fix any computers in any ArcoLinux system with it, right? You can always recover an ArcoLinux system, always. Few videos about it on the websites, right? Where do you live? Let's do our time. User share zone info Europe. Brussels. And that's a link to their local time. The hardware clock thingy. System to HC. Sys to HE, yeah. Scrolling locale. I don't know. It's personal, right? I see people putting their systems in their own language. And I always have an issue with that in the sense that if you're learning about something, English is probably gonna give you more hits in searches. So entirely up to you. If you're not sure about your English and you say, oh, the few words I know about in English, right? Then it's not something for you. You choose your own language. But it is the way it is. If you search something, you'll get more hits in English than in French or German or Italian. It's the way it is. So I'm gonna go for English. Okay. shorter alternative. That's what I'm gonna do. Echo lang equals English US UTF. You choose, of course, the language. You need to type the same language you've chosen. Yeah, I think no typos, I think. etc. It's always a lot of typing, so I appreciate, I appreciate Clamars. Key map. etc. For those who want to try out the script, there's a script to install ArcoLinux. It's not working on Virtualbox. We're August 2021. Wait for it. I hope fixes will come. ArcoLinux, small n, L, so I'm gonna do exactly as on the website, but you choose your own name. I could have named it Eridubois, for example. Doesn't need to be ArcoLinux. And here's a lot of typing. There we go. 127.0.0.1. So localhost. And then load. Is this a tab? That's a tab. Always do tabs here. One. Oops, that's one too much. Tab tab. Localhost. 127.0. Voila. Nope, no space, tab. ArcoLinux.local domain. ArcoLinux. Ctrl X. Yes, please save. So that's saved. I always have to check if I don't skip things. Pacman -s. No sudo required. Why? Because we are sudo. We are in control. We install Network Manager, great tool. I can do VPN with it, etc., etc. And we're gonna enable it as well. This is a tricky thing. I don't know why they do that. So system, CTL, enable. Normally we do a tab, right? And normally we would type Network Manager with small letters. I hope they change it at some point in time, because this doesn't make sense. It needs to be capitals. Enable Network Manager. Okay, if you don't see the 3 lines, you've made a mistake and you will not have internet. Okay, scrolling. We need a password for root. Give me a password. Password is very complicated. Voila, updated successfully. Bootloaders. If you forget those, you can't boot. And that's what I see from time to time in the comments on YouTube. Can't boot. Just forgot a line. PC, device, or you're doing it too complex, like SDAC and SDA what, or SDC, I mean, or something like that, and trying to install more than one install device here and made some mistake. Let's have a look. Ooh, what's that? Grub install targets. Device SDA. Okay. There was a hidden mistake there and a hidden key I pressed. No error reported. Cool. Make config -o. Where should I put the config? Go and put the config here. Voila. Scrolling, scrolling. Reboot, it says. Meaning I should do an exit. Done. So I'm out of archroot. Root is again red. I'm gonna unmount things. These arch wikis change because this was not prior. And now we type umount minus rmount, and reboot. If you don't see grub, too bad. Start over again. Now we do Ctrl-Alt-R for Virtualbox here to be a bit quicker. Boot existing OS. If this doesn't help, this doesn't do anything, you would have to do everything over again. So we're done with the page, right? Short alternative, hostname, blah blah blah. We're done with that. So scroll all the way down. Next step. Next step. We're booted up again. Move it to the second screen. Scroll again. So we're root. That's the only guy that exists. I have a password, and that's it. I'm in. We can ping, but we know with internet we're on Virtualbox. Why wouldn't we be on internet? Pacman -s dash completion. I hate it if it's not available. That's in order, so that's the use of tab. Then me, myself, and I, user add -m -g users, and all the groups, video, network, wheel, storage, rfkill, -x, and we're gonna use bash. Yes, we are. And I'm Eric. Password of Eric is gonna be Eric. I told my password. Editor equals nano visudo. Tab, not tab, page down. And we have wheel here. Delete the hashtag, delete the space, Ctrl-X. Yes, please. Saved. Exit. I'm Eric. That's my password. And Pseudopacman -syu is updating only, right? Only the ArcoLinux repos. There's nothing else. So I'm in, and we're at the bottom of the other screen. Next step. Let's get graphical. You don't want to stay in a black screen. I hope you don't. I'm sure you don't. Pseudopacman -s. Let's get the Xorg server, Xorg apps, Xorg init, Xorg x init. You see I can autocomplete, tab. And there we go. They're all in. Coming close to the decision. What desktop should I install? Here they install the display manager, right? It's exactly the same thing. If we say SDM and then enable SDM, and that's all the difference, right? So maybe we just skip something. Well, I mean, deviate from a root and install SDM, right? So another video. A little bit of knowledge. Pseudopacman -s. Let's do a clear. So yeah, we're at the top again. So Pseudopacman -s lightdm. Oh, SDM, right? Boom, boom. And then we enable it. Sudo systemctl enable SDDM. Stop. If you want to type more, do it. .service. It's already enabled. It says so. Create the symlink. Cool. So if I reboot, I'm greeted with a nice SDDM. Well, nice is the standard SDDM, which is not nice, right? But there are hundreds of SDDM things out there. And I've made my decision. I'm gonna install Plasma because SDDM really is created for Plasma. But hey, we can use all 22 desktops with SDDM, right? It's a choice. There's GDM, SDM, LightDM. Those are, I think, the most important ones, where you still get beautiful choices in themes. Okay, Plasma. Where do I find the information on Plasma? On the Arch Wiki, of course, but maybe somewhere else as well. So we've installed LightTM. Do not forget to enable, done that, SDM, of course. Choose your desktop is phase 4. Choose your desktop is phase 4. Now we need to decide what desktop we'll install. You can follow any of these things, but where do I get the knowledge? Arch, Wiki, i3. Let's do a few for searches, right? i3 can be installed with this, or there's the gaps. Okay, voila. Plasma. Oops, it knows I want to do Plasma. KDE. I don't talk about KDE, I always say Plasma. Plasma Meta, Plasma Group. Okay. Mate. How do I install Mate? Mate Extra. And all you need to know that it's Pacman thing. Pseudopacman -s. Pseudopacman -s. Plasma. Meta or not. Your choice. I'm pressing enter, but you can change it, of course. Default 1. If you don't. So let's do a change here. I see the TTF Deja Vu. I'm gonna take number 5. And providers, I'm gonna take number 1. And off it goes. But normally I do just enter, right? Because the default is probably most of the time the best one. But there are choices, and it's good, right? It's very good. ArcoLinux gives us those choices. And now when I look at this Pacman update, there is no parallel downloads, it seems. I don't know why ArcoLinux does that, but they stick with the single download at this point in time in their configuration, so the pacman.conf, which is strange. Control F3, I'm going to go to another TTY, nano etc pacman.conf, and go down, go up, go down. Here it is, parallel downloads 5. X, yes, enter. Eric forgot to put this sudo in front of it, right? Can't do anything without sudo. Go back, parallel downloads, delete the hashtag, Control X, yes, saved. Control F1, yeah, I'm on F1. And now the parallel downloads would be working. I can show that with VLC. Not really. I guess we need to reboot or something like that. I would think it would work immediately, but I don't know. Anyway, we've changed the watchdog bug, soft lockup, CPU 7, stuck 4, swapper. That's not good, right? Let's do a Control R and boot existing OS. And as long as everything boots up, now we're good, right? So Plasma is here. Nice little hand up there. So old school. And we thought it was nice back in the years, right? And this is your standard look. Do I have console? So still so many things to do. I have UX term. I have something, right? There's no terminal. So lots of things to still install. Oh, the keys are not good as well. So still a lot of work. Sudo pacman -s. Like Dolphin, I would like console. insert a file manager and a terminal, and it keeps on going, right? That's what we do in ArcoLinux. We know which Lego blocks to get from ArcoLinux repositories. We create some more packages, some more blocks with nice icons, add such and such and such, themes, wallpapers. But basically it's all on the same play area. It's all about getting to format a hard disk and build it up from scratch. And this is what you do if you want to go for a ArcoLinux installation. But like I said, there is still so much missing. Sound, cups, printers, Bluetooth. I mean, you still need to check if any of this is available on your machine. But anyway, this is an all-in-one tutorial. Hope it helps. Again guys, there are so many videos out here that if you watch them all, you can install ArcoLinux with closing your eyes. All right, cheers, have fun, bye.